It's a really great time at the moment to be a guy in fashion. We're referencing a lot of past eras now where dressing well was just part of being a man. I think if we go back to the Great Depression, there was a lot less class definition because in a way the Great Depression was a great social leveler. So it was really the first time we started to see an intermingling of rural and urban fashion. And you see that influence the way we dress today. Every season, Nordstrom offers this really great John Valveda suit. It's a three-piece suit. You can buy it as separate. It's at a really great price point. Obviously, you can dress it up with a shirt and tie, but you can also dress it down. You know, you just use the jacket as a sport coat, mix it with jeans and a workwear-inspired piece like a Henley or a chambray shirt, and you're good to go. So another really big thing we're seeing at the moment are military-inspired details on everything from sunglasses to shirts to jackets. A lot of these military influences we can trace back to the time of the World War in the 1940s, when the new hero was the regular guy that was going off to serve for his country. In the 1950s, it was the birth of the American dream. In a sense, what you had was a new uniform, the sharp suit. And we can really see how relevant that era is today. I mean, if you think about the popularity of a TV show like Mad Men and the influence that's had on men's attitude towards tailoring, the idea of a slim-fitting suit and tie and shirt that makes you just look incredibly sharp. And obviously another really great influence today is the heyday of the Ivy League colleges. We have a really new version of that preppy look. We've got, you know, a classic cardigan put with a colorful shirt, unbuttoned, just a really nice slim pair of slacks and a gorgeous pair of wingtips. The 1970s was a stylistic period that really didn't lend itself very well to the business environment. And even though the 1970s was somewhat of a sartorial disaster for men, there were some really interesting and positive things that came out of that. There's a certain free-spiritedness to the way we're dressing at the moment. As we moved into the 80s, we look at the rise of Wall Street, the rise of big business again. The power suit was a real representation of this idea of wealth and influence. And we still see the remnants of this idea of the power suit today, but instead of it being about wealth and status, it's much more about conveying the idea of confidence and character. The details are much more subtle. Rather than a pinstripe, you'll just get a nice self-stripe, or rather than a huge peak lapel, it's much more streamlined and slim-fitting. So moving into the 90s, it was kind of like the beginnings of business casual style as we know it today, but they kind of took it a little bit too far. Every day was Casual Friday. But I think the really interesting thing that's come out of that is that people like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, you never see them wearing a suit and tie, and yet they're multi-billionaires. You can be really successful, but you don't have to wear a tie to do it. So now we just have so many more options. You can wear your jeans, you can wear them with a sport coat, you can dress them up for work with a really nice slim shirt and tie, but then you can also dress everything down. We can still go to work, look great, be casual, be comfortable, be confident. I think we're at this point now where we've found this really happy medium, knowing that it's okay to dress really well, but to still maintain your masculinity.